Hey everyone! Today marks my final day officially serving as president of Adventist Young Professionals. If you've been around for a while, you know that we have been planning for this transition intentionally for several years. Last summer, I shared more openly about my decision to step out of the presidency because I believe that healthy, spirit-led ministry requires us to practice keychain leadership. It means empowering others, making space for new voices, and trusting God enough to pass leadership forward. So, this should not come as a surprise. It is simply a moment to pause, reflect, and for me to say thank you. 6 years ago, AYP was still in its earliest days. We were navigating the uncertainty of pandemic restrictions and gathering people through daily virtual devotionals. I could not have imagined the communities that would form, the friendships that would grow, the missions that would be launched, or the leaders God would raise up across the globe. Looking back now, the clearest truth is that God has called each of us, and every single person has had a role to play in advancing his mission. That's why I'm genuinely excited for what comes next. Tomorrow, Gerald Bedney steps into the role of AYP president. Many of you already know him, but I have had the privilege of working closely with Gerald during his time as vice president of strategy and brand development. He is compassionate, thoughtful, and deeply people-centered. He thinks long-term, builds collaboratively, and carries a genuine love for this community. I trust Gerald completely, and I am confident that God has called him to lead AYP in this next chapter. What God has built through AYP has never been about one person. He has raised hundreds of leaders around the world. He has used volunteers and board members who have given over 250,000 hours of their time, donors and partners who have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars, and mentors who have walked alongside us with wisdom and prayer. If you are one of the more than 12,000 people who have been part of this journey over the past several years, thank you for saying yes to what God placed on your heart. Today, I also want to offer a few brief personal thank yous. To the pastors and church leaders who have personally mentored me along the way, thank you for your prayers, counsel, and steady guidance. To my family and friends, thank you for your encouragement and support every season. And to my fiancée Paola, thank you for walking with me on this journey. Your support has meant more than words can express. Above all, thank you to God. None of this exists apart from his leading. Every door opened, every leader raised up, and every life touched has been a reflection of his faithfulness. This ministry has always been his, and it continues to be held by him. These past 7 years have shaped me deeply. I have learned that leadership is not about control or visibility, but about equipping people to step into what God has already called them to do. It is about building systems that allow the mission to grow beyond any one leader and cultivating a culture that remains relevant, collaborative, and centered on Christ. With all that said, today is not my last day with AYP. I'm not stepping away. Rather, I'm transitioning my focus toward my role as chairman of the board, where I will continue to support, mentor, and advocate for our leaders and teams. My role is changing, but my heart for AYP remains the same. So, today, nearly 7 years after God first placed this calling on my life, I simply want to say thank you. And I want to invite you to pray. Pray for Gerald as he steps into this role. Pray for me as I enter a new chapter of life. Pray for our volunteers across the globe as they continue to serve on the front lines of ministry. And pray for the people whose lives will be impacted by AYP in the years to come. Friends, I truly believe that Jesus is coming soon, and I know that AYP is part of how God is preparing our generation to carry the gospel faithfully into every corner of the world. As we wait for that day when we are reunited with Christ and with our brothers and sisters from around the world, may we remain unshaken in who God has called us to be. May we lead with courage, stay rooted in Christ, build lives and communities that reflect his kingdom, and cultivate rhythms that sustain us for the long run. And as we do, may we not simply survive the calling God has placed before us, but thrive in it, trusting that he who began this good work will be faithful to carry it to completion.